Alright, it's April 29th, 2012, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to episode 329 of Mods on Air, bringing you the weekend gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman, and also on the show today we have with us GameKat. Hello, GameKat.
Hello.
Hello, and we also have Stryder's with us. Hello, Stryder.
Hola.
Hola. How? And also with us is Welshy. How you doing, Welshy?
I got so confused at that. I had no idea what you were talking about. Hello.
Yes, alright, I'm not going to go into that. So anyway, before we begin
slightly racist.
Before we begin this show today and really get into it, let me remind you all that this show was recorded before a live audience of which you may be a part. You can listen in a message about the topics as we discuss them, as I quickly rattle through things. And for the other links that are posted, you shouldn't click on them for your own safety. Don't know where you go. But Welshy will post the relevant URLs into the chat window. Those you can click. Finally, for those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language or adult themes. So if you don't like getting smacked, leave the house. Alright, so.
Not even going to comment.
That is a really weird thing to say.
Yeah, if you're ginger, we will pick on you. So, it's given.
So I went around this morning.
Like getting smacked, get out of the not even going to attempt to process that.
Yeah, I ran around this morning and actually a little bit throughout the week and grabbed some topics to talk about today. So yeah, sorry about last week's show. I'm trying to help Mama Foil, who's not doing so well, not as healthy as she could be, getting her better and back to her who she was. So that's where I've been this week, and there'll be a little bit more of that. That's where I'm headed out after this. And we'll pick things back up and get back into the roundup thing. Hey, you know what? It's the end of April, and that means, Welshy, what's going on next month?
I'm moving away.
Okay, that's one of the things that's going on.
That's one thing.
Depending on your
on near, yeah, depending on. I'm moving to Canada in less than 2 weeks now. 11 days, something like that.
Yeah, oh my goodness. What day? May
11th.
15th? Okay.
I'll be there, but May 10th is the day because I have to leave the day before.
It's a big travel day. You got a lot to pack. And
11-hour flight, yeah.
How much you shipping? And not carrying
Not a lot, yeah. No, I'm wearing all my clothes at once. I walk as the like that, yeah. But yeah, that's next. Well, not next week, the week after.
Mm-hmm. And all
so
this
hopefully
just to
I'll
go
have
to PAX
time
Prime
to
in
do the
August.
indie dev thing as well before I go.
Yes. Indie Dev is next week. Or is it next week or is it when is it? We don't know.
Yeah,
it's next month.
Week.
Okay.
Next month, yeah. Sometime next month. Just check back at some point.
Right. So we're going to be talking to some indie developer to be announced. You got to show up to see who we're talking to, and it'll be somebody who's working on something cool. And we'll talk about the process of how they went to developing their game, coming up with it, and whatever questions that you guys want to ask us, get in the chat window and we'll ask. You ask, and they can read it, and we can relay it to them, and you can also be a part of this. I like talking to the developers. I like seeing how they're doing things and what's going on, and yeah. All right. So. Let's get into some topics, unless you guys have anything else you want to yell at these people before we start. No?
Nope.
No, okay. So, getting into some hardware news, there is I found an article over on GameSpy. I can't apparently find it here in my list. Okay, here it is. I found an article over at GameSpy that says that's asking if sexy Ultrabooks can keep up with PC gamers, as opposed to the non-sexy homely ones. So can these Ultrabooks?
I worry about you, my friend. I seriously worry about you.
Yeah. Well, can these Ultrabooks actually keep up with PC gamers? And you know what? We kind of knew the answer, but this is just GameSpy putting together an article, going through the facts, and saying, and concluding that unless you're the kind of gamer who likes to play Bejeweled or something else, I don't know what they list in here. You're really not going to get the best of it. And they're calling it an Ultrabook, and Ultrabook, a high-powered tablet, whatever. It's a you're not going to get everything. They tried some games in here. What did they try? They tried Skyrim and said that was really jittery. They tried Batman Arkham Asylum and said as long as everything was low, you could play it.
With no shadows.
Fun. Yeah.
With no shadows, so you might as well buy an Xbox.
Right? Well, get on live if you want to be playing this stuff on your your notebook. Maybe that'll work. I couldn't tell you for sure. Right? Yeah, there. Ham is saying on live. Exactly.
I noticed there in the screenshot, the Skyrim one, you can see fraps in the top left corner, and the FPS is 21.
Yeah, I see that 21.
Wow.
That's with everything turned all the way down. And
Aren't these all, though, necessary steps to... I mean, eventually, isn't that what everybody's going to be on? There won't be laptops or desktops anymore. They'll just be tablets for everybody. So don't we kind of have to go through these steps to get there?
If you're Windows, that's what you want. Or if you're Microsoft, that's what...
I kind of think so.
Well, Apple, too.
I'm going to stick with my gaming laptop. Stay away from these ultra thin, ultra light. If I'm bringing my monster, I'm bringing it because I'm going to play games on it. Not
right. Yeah, I haven't been home in a while, and I'm thinking to myself, geez, I could be playing games if I had a decent laptop out there. With all these what we have, Terra and Guild Wars 2 betas all going on, and that I can't be a part of.
Yeah. Well, cause I got the same issue because I'm moving. I can't take my PC with me. I have a laptop, but it's an EE PC. It's like I could play Farmville on it for about 20 minutes. But yeah, so I've been kind of debating whether to buy some sort of gaming laptop, but it's just not. I don't think it's worth it. Because the amount I'd spend on it, I could just save that money and buy a desktop.
Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a definite advantage to having the laptop. You got portable gaming, especially if you invest in a higher end one. But there's definitely you're gonna, when you come over here, you're gonna end up having to buy basically everything except your graphics cards. Anyways, so.
So what?
Well, if you're gonna spend, I don't know, it's probably gonna cost you, I'm gonna guess $150, $200 to ship over your components you're bringing. Just given what I know about shipping to the island over there. So you're gonna have to pay that to bring it over. You're gonna have to invest to get a case, a PSU, a monitor, keyboard, mouse. You're looking at even if you buy a bare bones case that's low end or whatever, you're not looking for something that's going to give you good ventilation. But your $200 for a case, a PSU is going to cost you $300 for something that's going to run what you got. You're going to have to go back to a single monitor, which you'll probably be all pissed off about.
Yeah,
but
not sure I'm going to survive with a single screen.
Yeah, so that'll cost you another $250. With what you're doing, you could throw another $500 in it and get a gaming laptop, and you can take that with you wherever you go and not have to worry about.
I mean, it's either that or what I was just thinking of doing, because you're right. It's going to cost me a load to ship it, to ship stuff over. So what I was actually thinking of doing is just leaving it all here and just buying a new desktop. Because you might as well if I'm going to spend that much, I might as well just throw an extra $200 onto it, and just go buy a brand new desk, buy everything new, and rebuild it from ground up. Because it's just the amount of money it cost me to ship it all over there. It's just not worth it. It'd probably cost me more actually in shipping, and then having to wait for it to turn up, and
Well, you might be able to ship everything but the hard drives, because those are the really heavy ones.
Well, no, the power supply is the heaviest thing.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
I've got a 900-watt power supply. It's pretty heavy. But so yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I've been kind of looking at it at game laptops, because that would actually work. Because if I've got to move around a bit while I'm over there, having a desktop is really not that helpful.
Yeah.
You're
But,
still gonna
yeah,
want a desktop though, because
I still want one.
But see, if you're going to buy
decent...
if you're going to buy a gaming laptop, you're actually buying a desk because they're not portable by any sort of means. Like my gaming laptop is fucking heavy. It's not something I'd want to carry around all day.
No. Like up Queen Anne's Hill.
No, most definitely. I don't even know if I'd want to walk up that without my laptop. So, and that's I think that was $1,700. So, and it's Windows 7 64. It's got the AMD card in it, but they've got them with the Nvidia card now. And it's a gaming laptop, but it is a desktop replacement laptop. It's not something that you're going to compare to these little razor thin paperweights that if the wind blows it, you got to chase it. So yeah, the fact that they're light and small is awesome, but I'm looking more for functionality than something that's light and small. My eyesight's fading.
Yeah.
And
I prefer a desktop. I prefer having the big, I like the big chunky keyboards that make, they go when you type on them. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the chunkiness of the whole thing. I don't want this little laptop that I got to sit there because it annoys me.
But that's the thing with the laptop. With most gaming laptops now, you can plug in a keyboard and mouse.
Oh yeah.
And you can plug in dual monitors.
Yeah.
And all of that. So it's not.
I think in Welshy's position, I would get a gaming laptop, because for now he can get those extra parts if he wants later, and these parts would be used if he got a desktop. Getting a good keyboard, mouse. And
I've been thinking about it and trying to be smart about it, but I think in the end I will just cave and go. You know what? Just give me a laptop. I'm gonna get a laptop because I've got an EPC, but it's next to
that's
useless.
not a laptop.
No.
No.
You're better off with
It
your
was
phone.
awesome when I was in university because it was really small and I could just walk around and I didn't have to. But now it's just it's a paperweight. It's just this is useless.
Yeah. You know what we'll do? We'll just start a Kickstarter so that Welshy can.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Fund Welshy's travels.
There's a specific thing in there that's no fund me to do stuff rule that says you're not allowed to do.
But what was it? GameKat, I think, was talking about how this is how we're starting to all head towards these Ultra notebooks and things that you can carry. See, I'm thinking that things are headed more towards the cloud. I don't like that word because it seems too cliche or something. But anyway, the cloud. Right now you have OnLive, which is a streaming service, allows you to play games that way, and OnLive is also hooking it up so that you can stream Windows. Basically, they have a version of Windows on there that you can run Windows streaming, and what do we have? We have Dropbox, and now we have Google Drive. Google Drive just came out this past week, and Google Drive is offering the ability...
Oh, that's what installed on my phone.
Is it?
Google Drive. Yeah, I looked earlier, and my phone was like, "Oh, you have new updates." So I just went, "All right," and just did it, and yeah. And I remember seeing something about Google Drive.
Then won't the tablets and the cloud combine basically so that we're all just walking around with our own little touchpad and everything is stored on the cloud? And
yeah, that's what I think.
I've got my own touchpad.
Eventually, I don't think. I think we're more than
but
just a year
you wore it out.
I think we're more than just a year or two away from making that a real big thing for everybody. But I think that's what we're
I already made mine a big thing.
Jesus Christ.
Just talking about this, right? Yeah.
Oh, we're so childish.
Yes. Thank you.
Pocket touchpad. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where we're going with the OnLive, with the cloud storage, and And yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that thing. Google Drive is starting to be introduced. Basically, you have to go there. You have to say that you want to be signed up, and then you can try it. And the idea is that it works just like Dropbox. Is it going to be better than Dropbox? I haven't gotten to try it. There's an article here that says there's a lot of reasons why you want to use it. But you know what? I love Dropbox. So Google Drive is going to be the same idea, probably. I think it's awesome that what I've done is I've set up a lot of the programs that I use for programming and stuff like that, where where all my files are saved on Dropbox, and then whenever I open up the program here locally, that I've set up some on my Windows 7 machine. I set up some symbolic links. Symbolic links is basically like saying this folder, even though it's linked, it shows it's here symbolically here. It's actually here on your Dropbox folder. So it just reads all my files through Dropbox, and I don't even, wherever I am, I have the same files I was working on when I was at home. So it's kind of like using the cloud and that kind of system. It's the only thing I'm missing is carrying around the CPU processing power that I have. So yeah, Google's having their Google Drive thing, which we kind of knew was going to be happening. We kind of knew over the last 5 years or something that something was coming.
They finally go around to putting it out.
Mm-hmm. And if you do get into this, it comes with extra Gmail storage, which I haven't needed, and I've been using Gmail for everything. I don't know who needs all that Gmail storage, but whatever. Clean out your email. Yeah.
I like Ham's point that he brought up, that it's going to basically segregate the type of users that are out there. You're going to have your group of users that are the plug and play ones, the ones that can only operate, put a cartridge in or whatever, that type of
Your
person.
consolers.
The consolians. But what they're going to be is they're going to have their head in the clouds, because they're going to cloud people.
Pun intended.
Yes, pun intended. And then there's going to be the other group of people that is your gamers, your PC users, your ones that actually want to make their own stuff and carry on with their own stuff. And they're going to be the ones that are going to be fixing everything for the cloud douchebags. Because they're not going to excel at anything. It's going to be like that. It's that instant gratification generation. I need this, I need it now, and I don't want to pay for it, or I don't want to do anything. I don't want to know anything about it. I just want it to work. And if something goes wrong, then it's the end of the world.
Then they have to go find a nerd to fix it.
Yeah. It's the thing of, it's the equivalent of most people know how to drive a car, but if it breaks down, you have no idea what to do.
I don't know. There's a lot of fucking people that don't know how to drive a car either.
Yeah.
But you get the idea.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't know how to use their computer too. They use it, but they use it in the most horrible manner possible. Such as saving everything to the desktop.
Yeah.
I know a few people at work who do that. How do you find anything if it's all on the desktop?
Because it's on the desktop.
It's right there, look. I can see it. It's right in front of me. Yeah, but what happens when you fill it up and it goes off the side? Oh, I didn't know it did that. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to go over to. I wanted to make sure that we try to include a Kickstarter or some sort of new thing in development every now and then. And the one that I came across this week is called Grim Dawn. It's going to be an open world ARPG. So what's the A stand for?
Aggressive.
I guess it's supposed to be an old school style open world action role playing.
Automated.
Action.
It's just a movie.
Action role playing game. So here in this one though, you're not the only hero in the quests. They have a whole story here that you might want to check out. And they are getting close. I'm not even going to get into what they're talking about. They've raised 210 of the $280,000 goal that they want, which means that they're getting pretty close. They have 19 days left to go. Yeah,
it does look pretty impressive.
Old people RPG.
Old.
Hit the turbo button and that. The old person walkers.
So I'm kind of the screenshots we have here. We actually have screenshots and some pictures and videos So, you know, it's promising. It's not like somebody sketched something on a napkin, took a picture of it, and then did this, then talked about it on a camera and asked for money.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of those.
There's quite a lot of those, exactly. And this is yeah, looks like an interesting game. Go check it out. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. Right now, you don't have to put any money into it if you don't like it. $1 minimum pledge to back. All right. Let's go on to what else? I'm jumping between pages and pages here. Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia source code has been released out into the open source world, which means you can grab it. Now, Prince of Persia was a game that came out quite a long time ago. Come on, redirect me. I don't even know when. All right, it doesn't even say here, so let me try and guess. Came out in 1981.
Is yeah, well no, but one of the later versions, like Sands of Time or something like that, was what they were doing that one, and they put that one out, and then they were started on another Prince of Persia game, and they cancelled it to make Assassin's Creed instead, which is essentially the same game.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting that they're releasing the source code for that.
Well, I don't know who really wants to look through it, but you know what? You can look through it. You can. I love the idea that they open up this stuff so that people can see how things were built, perhaps modify it in some way, or just learn from it even. Prince of Persia I thought was an awesome game back, way back, and I used to play it on my Commodore 64. It came for free on one of those versions of Prince of Persia, Sands of Time or something like that, that if you started the game, that you could actually play the old Prince of Persia version.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It would like unlock the original Commodore version.
Yeah, that's right. And so you get. I think that's pretty cool. So if you want to see how games used to be made and really confuse yourself, this is you can go check that out. Yeah, actually, it would probably be pretty confusing, those old languages. Prince of Persia with hoverboards, sure. Okay. Also we have, Valve's Handbook. The employee handbook. Handbook for new employees, okay? That thing was supposedly leaked. I don't know how leaked it really was, because if it was really leaked, I think Gabe has some strings that he could pull to make sure that thing was pulled off the internet, but he didn't. He left it out there. And so somebody let go of this employee handbook that you get when you join Valve. Now, I didn't get to read the whole thing. I got to read parts of it. But the parts of it that I did read, I thought were pretty interesting, and I'm not sure. I still don't believe that something like, even though they're doing it, something like this could really work in the real world. Yeah, now the employee handbook goes on to say how, you know, when you join the team, okay, when you're hired by Valve, you don't just go to work on a game. You're not like, okay, you got to go make Rust for the next Half-Life game. That's your only job, is working on Rust and making Rust look good. Go do that. Or you go make a version for Wii, because we want a Wii version of this game. So that's your job. So you're not stuck doing something like that. You are allowed to choose your own project. They have all these projects going on. Obviously, they have a number of games working, as well as different kinds of distributions, modifications, DLC, and that kind of stuff is all happening. And there's different people that have different teams, and you are allowed to join any team that you want. Just, you know, you want to contribute? There's wheels on your desk to literally roll your desk over to a place and start working with a team. Literally.
See, I figured this was just like one of Valve's sort of jokes. Because it's sort of like method for taking company trip. Step 1, find someone to watch your cats. Step 2, board our chartered flight. Step 3, relax by the pool. Step 4, relax by the pool some more. Right. I just assumed it was them kind of just make his, you know...
I thought it was something where they were mostly picking fun at themselves, at how easy it is to work at Valve, how relaxed it is, and how things are your responsibility to make sure you find something to do and you do something. I don't know. Maybe it is a big joke, but I think it's. I thought it was a pretty interesting.
I'm looking at the actual handbook here. It doesn't. It seems like it's.
Oh, there's a PDF.
Seems like it's. Huh?
There's a PDF. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it seems it's legit. It was uploaded. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. A couple notes scribbled on the side here and there that weren't like ridiculous. They were what they were. So yeah, it was pretty neat to look at that. Now I can't necessarily see how that's going to work in real life. Expecting new employees to work on their own, and it seems a little.
Well, if you hire people who are motivated, who have a track record of being good at managing their own time and motivated, they don't really need micro. There's people out there that they don't need someone looking over their shoulder every 5 minutes, and they work better when they're left to their own devices. But my only question with that, though, is there's got to be jobs there that nobody wants to do. So who does those?
You mean like work on a Linux
I mean, there has to
version?
be someone who's making the Rust for the next Half-Life, if there is ever going to be another Half-Life. So I don't know. Maybe somebody's really into Rust. I don't know.
They are, right? But yeah, that's another thing. It was pretty interesting to see that, and I don't know if I'm ready to adopt something like that, but I do like the idea that, you know what, I think when you're working, I think it helps to work in a group environment. I don't believe in putting people in cubicles or throwing people into an office. I think everyone should be working together. Somehow.
It is probably the best way to get the most productivity out of people. If you let them choose what they're working on, they'll feel invested in it, and they'll pick something that they are passionate about and enjoy, so they're going to give it their best. So you're getting probably the most bang for your buck that way. But like I said, I just don't see how everything is going to get done that way.
Because surely there's going to be things that people aren't going to bother doing or want to do.
You would think. I don't know. I kind of sometimes have that personality where I'll do what no one wants to do just because that makes it mine. There is that. Okay. So going on with Valve, there's also some other stuff. Now, speaking of Rust, and their crowbars, there's this thing going on. Nvidia is supposed to be unveiling something. Well, they already unveiled it. I think they unveiled it last night. There was something going on with their latest. I think it was being unveiled by Nvidia, which means, okay, so they're about to unveil something that has to do with a video card, or Nvidia sponsoring it or something like that. Well, it turns out, I couldn't find the exact model number. I think what's going on here is Nvidia released information on a new video card, a $1,000 video card, which, you know what, is pretty much up there.
It's more than my entire PC package cost.
Yeah, it's a GTX 690, I think, and with it comes this, they call it a crowbar. I'm going to call it a pry bar because that's really what it is. A pry bar that says for use in case of zombies or ...
I much prefer a shotgun for zombies.
Yeah. Well, some people are like, or what? Or are they getting ready to announce something? Are they teasing something or what? I'm thinking that or uses for real life because it's an actual crowbar. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So it's you get a crowbar if you spend $1,000 on a video card.
You don't get the video card. You just
crowbar
get the
like $10 at Lowe's.
Yeah, probably about that. That makes sense. And so yeah, that's what's going on. And this was unveiled at the gaming festival in Shanghai last night. I think that was last night, right? 4/27, or maybe 2 nights ago, something like that. So there you go. So they're coming up with a brand new card.
It's a GTX 690. They say it's basically two 680s smashed together.
Yeah, you're gonna need an air conditioner. Okay.
Separate window unit just for your PC.
That's weird. Why do people park in front of my house to walk down the street to someone else's house?
Okay. Take the tires off their cars.
They won't need them.
Okay. Going on with something else on the official Portal 2 website. Sorry for not changing images. I don't have any images with me. It's such short notice putting this thing together. Anyway, you go over to the Portal 2 website here, and the Perpetual Testing Initiative is going on right now. What's going on is they say that they've released, 3 months ago, Skyrim unleashed the creation kit, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're initiating, or they're introducing the Perpetual Testing Initiative, PETI, which is supposed to be an easy-to-use puzzle maker with Steam Workshop integration. And it's going to be free for the PC and Mac on May 8th. Why wouldn't it be free? Basically, they want you to start making maps and stuff and find an easy way to make puzzles.
So
I think that's what
dumbing
we're
it down
getting at.
even more.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're dumbing it down.
They want to involve the consolians.
I don't see anything in here. Now I got to look for that. Is there anything in here for consoles? I don't see it. It might be. I don't see it listed.
No, but they have to make it easy on the PC for the consolians. They're trying to ease them into the thought of thinking.
Now, this is the first time that your brain has formulated what's known as a thought. It's going to be a weird sensation. Just take a deep breath and power through it. It'll pass.
Yeah, they say here, get feedback, gain followers, and build collections of puzzles to break people's brains.
And to fill Valve's wallet when they release them.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that is all that is, you know what, we're bored of making stuff. Here, you have a go.
Make Portal 3 for us, please.
or Half-Life. All right. Anyway, yeah, that brings up another one. Half-Life 3. Yeah, I'm rubbing my head because it's frustrating. Half-Life 3 is probably not going to be made, or if it is going to be made, it's going to go under another name. All right. Last week's indie developer of the month on MODSonair was the game Ricochet by Plastic Piranha. Ricochet. So Ricochet is trying to put together their game and release it, and they were talking to Steam, and Steam's like, yay. But B-U-T. Here comes an announcement from Valve saying that Half-Life, not Half-Life 3, but instead what they're calling Ricochet 2 is being developed here. Yeah, so Ricochet and Ricochet would be a conflict of names, so they can't have that. I don't know what Plastic Piranha is going to do about the game Ricochet when Half-Life is coming out with the game Ricochet, spelled slightly differently, but that still is a problem. So anyway, they're working on this game Ricochet 2, and the problem is that they say that the twists and turns that they're going through would probably drive people more crazy than just being silent about it. So they want to be very crisp about what's happening next, and that is they're not making Half-Life 3. They're working on Ricochet 2.
That's the thing. I'm not sure if I care anymore.
Yeah, I've stopped caring.
I know, it's been so long now that the momentum is completely gone.
And actually, I'm thinking about it. I think Valve would actually be a quite suicidal move to make Half-Life 3, because the expectations that people will have of that game, and if somebody's going to pull it off, obviously, to do that, it's Valve. But if they don't, if it's not as good as people are expecting, that will pretty much ruin their company.
Oh, it's going to ruin a reputation here or there.
Because, you know, it'll be, I waited 10 years for this.
Yep.
Unless they do have one way out, which I bet they actually try. Unless they turn around and say, guess what? We found another group, like a, I don't know, they make up with some external group that they decided to hire, and then they're the ones that put out the game, and then they decide to fire them.
It's their fault, yeah.
And then
bunch of ex-EA employees.
Yeah. And it becomes Jinx's favorite game. What was that one that they canceled on him?
Sin Episode?
Sin Episode, yeah.
Exactly. That's it. So that's what we could be looking at. I wouldn't put it past them to do that, and to do that knowing that it makes it easier for them to just kill the series. Who knows?
At least a little short of Gordon committing suicide. There's Half-Life 3 for you.
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured it out, Half-Life is each half, so that's one half, and we've had 1 and 2, which is 2 halves. Make it a whole. There is no more Half-Life, because then it would be like third life.
1.5 life.
1.5 life. Second life. We need help.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Yeah. All right.
What the fuck are you doing, Grind Time?
Like, what the hell? What is that you're playing? Like riding a cat?
No, that is Terra. I think that's Terra, and he is a cat-like character riding a horse. He has a horse mount, and he's getting womped on. Now.
Oh,
in
Cats
PvP.
fighting
Die, cat
horses.
thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
you
he's
got
in the
dead.
Terra game.
Haha. That's what you get for being a cat. I don't like cats.
I like that character. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
You like it because you're...
Games.
Pussy.
Yeah, games. Now, how do I
I
start?
like the way you muttered that as well. Just went,
games that aren't coming out. Stalker 2 has been mentioned again in the news, and
And now for games that aren't coming out.
yes,
Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3 and Stalker 2. Stalker 2 was, under development, as we all know, and then it was not under development, as you may know, and now it is back under development, as you probably didn't know. This is under development under another name called Stalker 2 Frozen, because it is frozen in development and will not be continued. Who knows? I don't know. It is going to now become a free-to-play MMO FPS. No, wait, that's a Survarium, which is a working title for something related to Stalker 2. Or is that part of Stalker 2? See, this
I figured they just renamed it because it's been going on for so long.
Mm-hmm. So they've announced Survarium, as in survive, Survarium, which is a first-person shooter.
Survarium is a free-to-play MMOFPS set in the near future.
Mm-hmm. So now what they're doing, they being a GSC Game World, which is the developer of Stalker 2, what they're doing is they're saying that Stalker 2 is not in development, but this is. But you know what? It's kind of built on this. I think what they're doing is they're just like tired
renaming
of this game,
it.
They want to make and come up with something else. Yeah, renaming it. Sure.
Because otherwise, all those developers got radiation poisoning for nothing.
I know.
It was worth it.
It looks like a very low key, low scale, low detail version of Stalker. Obviously, it's going to be a well, I'm not going to say obviously because there's zero detail here, but I'm going to guess it's going to be a web game.
Yeah, and if you look at this link that I'm posting here, even though I told you not to click on any links but Welshy's, it shows you a picture that looks like Stalker, just slightly different.
I just put that in as well.
Okay, I missed it. Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, free to play. Well, good luck. If it's free, maybe I'll check it out at the end of 2013. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, and Stalker was coming out in the year 2000.
Not going to recommend that one. No.
Strange plants and mushrooms grow through concrete and steel. Bum bum bum.
Okay, but another game that is coming supposedly in development here is Crysis 3 has been officially announced by EA themselves.
Ugh.
So that means we knew it was under development already. Didn't we already?
Yeah,
see
but
some
this really annoys me because this with the Crysis games, it was the reason they put those out is because it's a tech demo. It's like, look what our engine can do. Whereas this one is clearly EA just going, you know what? Crysis did pretty good. Yeah, let's just make another one.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, and that I saw that and it just really annoyed me.
You can pre-order now.
Yeah. Because that's happening.
In this game, they're going to use a bow, a composite bow, as one of the weapons.
Oh, Breezy will be happy.
Yeah. And an enhanced nanosuit. They all were enhanced.
Because having nanites in it isn't enhanced enough.
No. Yeah. But wait, we're going back to the urban rainforest? Who knew?
No, it's still in New York.
New York Dome is a veritable urban rainforest.
Like all completely overgrown is what they're going with.
Yeah,
it just annoyed me so much because it was just like, you got Crysis and that was the tech demo for that engine, and then the new engine came out, so they put out a Crysis 2, and then now it's just clearly they're just like, yeah, we'll just make some more money.
It kind of makes me think of Myst, because you have this like tech world in the jungle kind of thing, and looking at some of the screenshots they have available for it.
They do have a trailer.
They do have a trailer? Yes. I only saw pic screenshots. Oh. Okay. I didn't notice it.
Whoa!
I can't
and
play
the trailer
it
is very loud.
I won't play it then.
Very loud.
Okay. All pre-rendered, I'm sure.
No, I think there is actually
No, I think
in-game footage, but I mean,
I would
they're
like
just
that,
doing,
Morphus.
they're
Yeah.
just rehashing the same thing. So it's really not a huge jump for them to go, yeah, we'll just redo it.
I would like that. I would like to see them bring dinosaurs into the city. Then why not? Let's just go. Let's go all the way. We're halfway there. What else happened this? Yep.
Land of the Lost video game.
Oh god.
We missed the tie-in to the movie, though. We'll have to make a Land of the Lost Part 2. I'm sure they could get Will Ferrell to do that.
I wish they'd
somebody-
left Will Ferrell there.
Did they just announce that?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. All right. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I'm like, okay, makes sense. Yeah. Well, Family Guy Online. That game is actually on the way now. It's literally supposed to be the world's first MMLOL. Yeah, you know, that's exactly what you're going to expect from the Family Guy Online. What else you might expect? Falling through the ground. Hopefully they fix that. So yeah, this thing is, you can sign up for the beta. It's almost fully released, but if you do sign up, what they do is they send you like a key to Quahog so that you can get in there and start playing, and you can start playing games such as chasing the greased up deaf guy.
Oh, wow.
You're not gonna catch me.
And then you can come to the shop, and that's how they're going to try and make their money, trying to get you to buy things.
But really, how much involved is the actual Family Guy people? Or did they just sell them the license?
I don't know. It's some of the voices. Did they even have voices? I don't even remember hearing voices. I remember reading it, but I don't remember hearing it.
Get the impression Seth MacFarlane has just kind of given up on Family Guy.
Yeah. He's over it.
Yes, the MMO no one wanted, yeah.
Here's a post from yesterday. Can't see cats again. So I don't know. I guess the cats are disappearing suddenly from the
What?
Yeah. You can go see the old man. He's handing out free popsicles and shoulder rubs to kids. Imagine that.
Anybody want to come inside for some pancakes and a glass of wine?
So what it is, it's basically this game runs in your browser. It's been created using the Unity 3D game engine, so it'll run in your browser and you can play. It will play on a laptop, although I don't know how well it'll play. I did play it on my laptop. I have checked it out before. If you really like the Family Guy, check it out. It's going to be free. You sign up for the beta, fool around in the world. It was kind of interesting for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then I didn't like it, but maybe you would, so you might want to see what's going on.
You didn't like it because they didn't give you a cape.
No. Okay. There's news going over on EA's Origin. I don't know if you remember what was going on with Origin was they were handing out bans to people if they were doing stuff that they didn't like, and basically you were banned from being able to play online. Well, now, and not just online, but if they handed out a ban, what would happen is you would be banned from being able to play any game at all, regardless of it being multiplayer or single player, and you would also, in some cases, be banned from the forums, which they keep saying that they keep fixing, but I don't think they're not trying to talk about the forums here. What they're saying is that Origin bans will no longer cover solo play, meaning that if you're trying to play a single player game, you will not be banned from that if you were caught cheating. Unlike Valve. Valve will
take your whole library
butt out. Yes. Good for Valve. You know what? I like their stance the best. You don't want to. Don't cheat, and you won't lose all your games. There you go. I don't miss Origin. I haven't played a game in a while, and I don't miss going through Origin to do it. Okay, there's another game out there called Mercenary Ops that I came across. Mercenary Ops is a game built on the Unreal Engine. It's a third-person shooter, unfortunately, but it will be launching this summer on the Windows PC. Yes, it's going to be a PC game, not necessarily meant for the consolians. And it's going to put emphasis on competitive play and team-based play, which makes me a little bit concerned Because isn't that what Unreal Tournament was? Isn't that what any multiplayer Unreal game is? Isn't that really Unreal? So hopefully they put a little bit more into this. It's combat and mercenary ops. We're going to have a more of a military theme than we're used to. We're used to what, like really futuristic kind of stuff. And there will be a co-op mode where you have teams of 3 to 8 players taking on hordes of AI and mini bosses. So it'll be like their version of Left 4 Dead or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything from it. Have you guys? They have art on their website. I don't know what kind of art.
Yeah, they have screenshots as well.
I'm not going to call these screenshots. Maybe they are. I'm going to call these renders. They have a video, but I'm not going to watch it here. They expected it this summer. I don't know. Maybe we'll check it at PAX at the end of the summer. Maybe they'll announce some more video stuff over at E3 this May. Okay, another bit here in the news is a game called Dishonored. There's a trailer out there for Dishonored, which is being put together by Arcane Studios. It's supposed to be a steampunk shooter. When I see this thing, I kind of think of I Am Alive or something like that. That's what I see in some of these shots.
I watched it and instantly thought of Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way he's like jumping over the roofs and he's chasing the guy down, and it's just like, wow, you just copied Assassin's Creed right there.
Well, you're supposed to have supernatural abilities. So, what are? Did you notice what some of these are? Is it going to be like
I think it's going to be a cross between like Assassin's Creed and something like Singularity
prototype? I was going to say.
Well, yeah, well, like we've got kind of weird. I assumed it was third person just because of the trailer, but maybe it isn't.
Well, Singularity was fun. It was just so short.
It might be. I don't see it saying single player or third person. First.
I know this is the one that's kind of the world is like Half-Life 2.
Pause time is one ability. Great.
Yeah.
I don't like Max Payne, so therefore I don't like anything that slows down or pauses time. It bores me. All right, so this game's just announced and talking about it. Yeah, I'm just kind of going through some of these topics. This next topic, I don't know much about this one either. Settlers Online is now live and out of beta, and this is supposed to be a free-to-play online strategy game if you like strategy games. It's Settlers Online Castle Empire. So by that name, you can tell what you're kind of getting into. Strategy, top down with castles.
I remember the old
and Settlers.
And Settlers. Yeah.
I don't like strategy games. They're too slow for me.
I don't either. I know Stryder used to be into them pretty much. Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan.
My game interests go in waves in different directions. One, I'll get into an RPG phase, and you guys won't see me for 9 months.
Then he'll emerge with a scraggly beard and super long fingernails.
Riding a wave of Mountain Dew and Cheetos.
No. And then then there's the FPSs, and you get into that, and then there's the co-op stuff. But yeah,
I almost got sucked back into Skyrim yesterday. That could have been dangerous.
Well, they're supposed to be coming out with some DLC for Skyrim.
Yeah.
And people's interest goes, another 70 hours of my life I have to contribute.
I really enjoyed Skyrim, but I cannot say that I'm interested in getting so involved through DLC. So it's just like I'm not interested.
Usually on games like that, by the time the DLC rolls around, I've moved on to the next thing.
Yeah. Like
Fallout was like that. I love Fallout 3, and I liked Fallout New Vegas and stuff, and it came out with DLC, and I was just like, I'm on to the next. I need a break from that.
Yeah. Every now and then you get all nostalgic. You want to play Pong or Frogger.
Yeah, until you see it actually on the screen and it's off.
Yeah, and then it's like, what the fuck was I thinking?
How simple was my brain that this used to entertain me for hours?
They're squares, brain. They're just squares.
I know. Well, what is coming up soon is Guild Wars 2 beta is supposed to be playing because this game is supposed to tentatively come out in June. Near the end of June.
Interested in because you get a cape.
No, I don't get a cape. Well, if I create a guild, I get a cape, of course.
And you're not going to create a guild.
I was going to say. So he's definitely getting a cape then.
Yeah.
Guild Wars 1 was fun, and it sounds like they put a lot of effort into Guild Wars 2 and to improving it in whatever area that they could think to improve it. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see, because I thought the first one, it was pretty fun, sort of right up until I got really sick of it. It was like I was having a good time, and then all of a sudden I was like, all right, I'm done. Too much.
Well, I got to play it at Eurogamer.
But yeah, from the articles I've read and stuff, it sounds like they're really listening to the community and trying to make it improvements, so I'm very curious to see what this version's going to be like.
Yeah, me too. I mean, come on, we're talking about a RPG-ish game, RPG, that you can buy once and not have to keep buying to play.
That's a plus.
That's a big plus. That's one of the things I really like. I like RPGs. I don't like paying for them so much. And I like playing with friends, so hopefully I can find some friends who are interested in this.
Well, I've got a feeling, because I know what you're hinting at there, I've got a feeling that Star Wars is going to end up being free to play here soon. They've released things saying, "Oh, we haven't seen a decline in subscriptions, but we're just seeing a decline in concurrent gamers." So, in other words, people aren't playing it, and they've got subscriptions that they're letting run out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
So what'll happen is they'll release it free to play and then start charging for expansion packs.
Mm-hmm. Or specialty items.
Yeah.
Pimped out speeders.
Like what?
Pimped out speeders.
Pimped out speeders.
Pimped out speeders.
You know, full hydraulics, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Morphus is saying, I would think that by now, if you've been playing the game, you might be bored. No?
I'm not. I've not had a lot of time to play it, unfortunately. But I've got you know, I can carry on with 4 different characters on the dark side that I've still got to finish their quests on, and I've still got the entire light side to play. So.
Okay. So
my subscription ran out over Easter break, and I let it run out. I did not renew. It was too much of a time vampire, and I was starting to feel like it was just the same quests over and over. I don't even know what the story was. I lost track of the story ages ago. I went back to Battlefield. I missed shooting people.
Well, if you want to see what Guild Wars 2 is going to have available for you, because remember, they're going to have PvP as well as non-PvP type gameplay, PvE, and they have some video of that kind of stuff right now available. World versus World PvP PC gamer preview that goes on for 22 minutes if you want to see what the game is going to look like, to see if you're interested in it or not. You might not be. So you can check it out. That's what that was about.
And out of nowhere, Breezy says casual nudity.
No, I was trying to figure out what that was in reference to.
I know, like, what?
It's like a personal ad.
What conversation?
Looking to see if he gets any responses.
What conversation was that part of?
Whoops, wrong window.
Okay, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is going to have some sort of a reveal on May 1st.
Oh, giant who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't care.
Firing up the old hype machine again, dusting off the cobwebs, and
I dust off the cobwebs.
Yeah, I do have a semi-related thing. Robert Bowling. Which is for whatever his name is.
420, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
has started his own game company, game development studio called Robotoki.
Okay.
Not making this up.
No, creating browser-based games, isn't it? Browser-based or tablet-based games, I think was the thing I read.
Robotoki, huh? Good luck.
Because, you know, he knows so much about making video games.
Yeah.
Completely self-funded and will only partner with those who support that model. So he wants you to self-fund him, I think.
No, but that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Completely self-funded, but we'll only let you fund us if... Well, wait, hang on. Because by definition, agreeing to fund them, it means they're no longer self-funded.
True.
Unless he wants you to support him. In other words, he's got no money to give you, but he'll develop and publish your game for you and do the same awesome bang-up job that he did for Call of Duty.
No, I don't know. He threw like 12 grand at that.
Did he work on Call of Duty, or did he just tweet about it?
No, he was the PR for.
He was just the tweet guy, yeah.
The official tweeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's water.
Yeah.
I still refuse to get Twitter.
Well, there is news out there that there is a decline in the Call of Duty series. Man, you know, you wouldn't realize
there's a decline.
Yeah, there's a decline in sales and people playing the game, but they're blaming this decline on the PC and the Wii.
On the PC, it's the PC's fault.
Yeah, you know.
And how do they reason that? Did they elaborate on that?
Because the only thing they could spell.
Because the Wii is too easy, and the PC is too hard.
Well, they're saying it's because that the PC and the Wii turn out to be afterthoughts. They are not the
fucking fault
market.
Is that, Activision?
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, that's what this article over at Kama Sutra is suggesting. That and who wrote this? Mike Rose? I don't know who this person is. That wrote
Mike Rose Soft.
But he says, you know, yeah, of course, these were afterthoughts. Do we have Elite, Call of Duty Elite yet on the PC?
No.
Do we? No.
Don't think so.
Do we really want it?
No, but
no, but you can't turn around and say, oh, you know what, the game's not doing well on the PC, so maybe we should just stop making titles. Well, stop making stuff for it, and consider PC as an actual platform, and maybe you won't lose so much on it.
The interesting thing is now not only the consoleans are agreeing with that, it's the people that are actually part of the dev teams are getting a little bit disenchanted, shall we say, with the whole Call of Duty machine that they keep pouring out the same things, and quite a few of the employees are like, you know what, I don't want to make the same game again. I'm getting bored.
Well, I don't think there are any original developers left on these teams.
Probably not, no.
So it's just people who... It's just now fanboys.
Well, yeah. or it's all... You know, I'm not going to... I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to because that's the type of person I am. But you get all these...
say this, but I'm going to anyway.
Well, every time... And this is just how it works in the modding industry or the modding community here. You get people that come in, and the first thing they want to do is they want to decompile somebody else's map so that they can repackage it and say it's theirs. And that is essentially what's been happening with these Call of Duty games, these Call of Duty maps. It's the exact same map. They change the textures on it and say, look what I did. Well, you've taken something that is fundamentally proven as a good thing. It's like BF3 and what's that island? The island map that...
Goddamn Wake Island.
Like, do you really need that again?
No.
Well, thank goodness that is not like part of the major release of the game. You know, because they're not pushing it that far.
They keep pumping it out. Wake Island? Whatever.
Wake Island.
Wake Island.
They keep popping it out and saying, "Oh, look, we've done this." Oh, well, why? Why can't you come up with something new?
You can look at it another way. Maybe it's a running joke.
It's too risky.
That's kind
A
of what
running
it is.
joke. Yeah,
Let's just keep putting it
I
out.
think that's with Battlefield. It is. It's kind of like that's the go-to map. But with Call of Duty, it is. You're just playing the same. Even the maps can be different, and yet I still look at it and feel like it's the same map.
Because
like what was the train? The one off of Call of Duty. Oh, I got to try and remember what it was. I think it was Call of Duty 2, where you were in the train areas. Rostock or something like that. It was a
Depot. No, Depot was Call of Duty 1.
Yeah. But they have redone that map 4 times now. Once it was in a jungly setting. Once it was obviously the original one. Once they turned it, they didn't actually change it that much. They just took the train tracks out of it. And then once they modernized it. But it's still the same.
Oh, yeah, I know you're on. You're on about Carentan. Was it Carentan where they put like... Well, they did in...
they did do that with
Carentan
as well, yeah.
They turned it into like Chinatown and put out, and it was the exact same map.
So, yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing. And very cool as well, yeah. The problem is now you're getting these developers, then they're going to come out of working on these Call of Duty games and essentially have no idea how to design a map. Because all they've done for the 2 years that they worked on the game was reskin stuff.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make is why is it failing?
They're not willing to take a risk on trying something new and different. It's not proven. They might not make any money on it, so...
Which, was kind of the whole point of being a game developer.
Mm-hmm.
As an art form, could they keep crying out that no, game development is an art form. Yeah, we'll make something new then.
Make it artistic.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though. The companies that have the capital to produce new games aren't willing to risk the capital on a new game.
Mm-hmm.
So we're stuck.
I think you're very right on that. That's why we need to get some more of these indie developers involved.
This is why I'm
Kickstarter.
quite interested in the whole Kickstarter thing, because a lot of the videos, if you watch them, are stuff like them just taking shots at publishers the whole time. Just like, yeah, you know what, we got sick and tired of having publishers dictate what we do. So we're going to do it by ourselves this time.
It means lower cost games and new
it means they get to make what they want.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's like the kind of the revolution we need.
They need to adopt what like 3M and Google do, which is to let their employees give them a little playground. Like I think 3M or something, I think like 20% of their resources go to just letting their employees sort of play on their own projects. And like that's where Post-it notes came from. Stuff like that. So a lot of larger scientific corporations will do stuff like that because they have, a brainy talent base that they just need a lab to play in and see what comes out of it. And I think these game companies need to try that too. Just be willing to put a small stake and let people do their own thing and see what comes out of it.
The only one I know that does that at the moment is Valve, I think.
Yeah,
I
think
agree. They do. I assume
think
they do
too. All right, one more thing out there is QuakeCon. QuakeCon it's open for pre-registration. QuakeCon 2012. At least one of you out there, Ham, is going to be going. And
PAX is supposed to be open for registration. It was for a bit.
That's right. That's
and then
the
they
point.
broke it.
Let's talk about it in a second. QuakeCon is out there right now, and I don't like these things that they're calling it, but you can buy your tickets to get in, and they call it like a swag pack for $40. See, I don't believe swag should cost anything. But
it's not swag if you're paying for it.
Exactly. But it's just their way of saying a ticket for $40. Bring your own computer seat for $30. A fast pass to get past people in line without having to beat on them first for $50.
So everybody buys a fast pass. It's
just
the
whole thing doesn't work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna dress up like a booth babe and go wherever the hell I want.
Yeah, that works. Usually, it really does. Just, yep.
Me too. No.
Dress up like an awesome.
I'll have a cape, right? No. It's
Bed sheet.
So PAX is another one. You know, PAX Prime opened up the registrations, by the way, if you guys hadn't noticed, which you would not have because they also closed down the registrations.
Well, they didn't close them down as much as they crashed and burned and failed miserably.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Penny Arcade started with some new company who's allowing them to buy tickets, and apparently it just kept crashing on them, couldn't handle the traffic, and so they went back to the old company, and they'll have registrations up again soon. We're looking at for a 3-day pass like $65, I guess, something like that.
Same as it was last year.
$35 a day. Yep. And it should be open again in another week, probably. So I was following that very closely when I finally saw that thing open up. They did get to sell a few tickets. I think I missed the chance by 3 hours, but hopefully, I'm kind of glad actually, because for all I know, those people that actually did buy tickets might lose their tickets because of this whole transfer of services. I doubt it, but it's something to watch out for. And what I'm not sure about is why the press registration is closed. Is it because it's not open yet, or it's because it's too late? I don't understand that.
Because it's on the same server.
I don't know. It was always closed. Marked as closed. So, anyways, because I definitely plan on buying tickets. I want to support the industry and that particular conference too. But I also want to get a press pass so that I can talk to the developers. Actually, so that the developers want to talk to me, I should say. Other than that, the press pass really doesn't give you anything but like an extra half hour on the first day, and that's it. Nothing else. So, all right. That's what's going on in the gaming world this week. You guys have anything else you want to bring up before we say goodnight?
Oh, I do.
Farewell.
I have two things. One, the people behind the Eurogamer Expo are now doing another. They're still doing the Eurogamer one, but they're doing another one that's for indie devs and PC games only. Mm-hmm. That was one thing. The other thing is an author is suing Ubisoft over Assassin's Creed.
Because they had a book that once came out?
Oh, yeah,
because he published a book in 2002, which, if you do look at it, it does have quite similar themes. Why it took him so long, nearly 4 years, or 5 years, in fact, to even notice, strikes me as odd. But the ridiculous part about it is, as soon as that kind of came up in the news, all these fanboys went over to the book on Amazon and started posting all negative reviews on the book purposely because they didn't like the fact, and there was people like paragraphs of people properly raging. This better not. I'll rage if this stops Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, really?
Yep, really.
But he wants only $5.25 million. That's all he wants. Apparently he's going to try sue game trailers as well.
It's rude that these people are posting on Amazon under his book and stuff like that, but I'm not going to say it's wrong.
No, because why? If that was the case, right? If they actually did, and he has a case, why would you not notice 5 years ago, when the first game came out? Maybe it's just the fact that.
Yeah, but what if he's not into? I mean, what if
he's a writer?
He might. Yeah, he might not know anything at all about the world of video games. It might just not be his thing, so he might not have known about it.
True, but they also have Assassin's Creed novels, comic books. It's quite a big franchise.
He did what any greedy bastard would do. He'd wait until he'd wait until the money bag got good and fat before he stuck his knife in it.
I mean, I'm not defending Ubisoft, because if you look at the book and read some of it is pretty much the same. The whole thing about going into people's memories and I mean, the book itself is just terribly written. It's like barely English. It's bad, but that's not the point. That the themes are there and whatever. But yeah, so keep an eye on that one. And apparently he's going to try sue game trailers because they posted trailers for the game.
Come on.
Now that's getting greedy.
Yeah.
Well, that's 10 to 1. That's a American.
That's
lawyer,
probably not
what that is.
Trying to get it taken down and start.
Take them all, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll pull you off the
Gonna
internet
sue
if you don't pay me.
Ubisoft and anybody who's ever met Ubisoft.
And anybody who's ever played this game.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly.
Which means we're all on the list.
That's what
Yeah.
you do with the
Probably.
lawsuit. Is you put a big broad scope in there and then you narrow it down.
Well, you
You
wait for
can't
the
start-
judge to say no.
Yeah, you can't start naming people extra afterwards. So
Okay. Anything else then? All right.
Nope.
Well, hopefully next week we'll get an indie developer on the show.
Hopefully.
If it's not next
Yeah.
week, it's the week after. It is planned. I'm telling you.
I'm hoping
you're
I'll
just gonna have
time.
to.
Yeah. The problem is I'm moving to another country.
Yeah.
Is the issue.
well, suck it up, Buttercup.
Don't have a lot of free time, all right?
Not just a neighboring country. One that's a
No.
little far.
He's moving to a better country. There's a far, far better thing he's moving to. No, not France.
I have a breath
Yeah,
spray
right,
for you,
Welshy,
Welshy, to help you fit in.
At your
Oh yeah,
bingo.
you do, yeah. Well, I can blend in with that breath spray.
Yeah. Feel more Canadian.
Breast
Be more
spray.
Canadian. Breath.
But
Breath.
breath.
Breath. That's better than
Wrong thing on your mind.
breast spray.
There you go. Remember?
There's-
Look and feel Canadian instantly.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
Okay, there you go.
Succumb to the fantasy. Does it smell like maple bacon?
I never opened it. I don't know. Invigorating peppermint. Okay. I want to thank our hosts for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you very much, GameKat, for joining us today.
Anytime.
Awesome. Stryder, thank you very much for joining us today.
'Tis always an adventure.
Welshy, thank you for joining us and for posting the show notes as we went along.
No problem.
Yay. Okay, and finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com, and the subscribing members of MODSonline.com, because it is you that make this show possible. Until next weekend, everyone. Go play some games.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@MODSonair.com. And please consider subscribing to MODSonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
I need you to put me through to someone who gets paid enough to listen to me cuss at them.
Well, there's just one for every occasion.
There is.